Disgraced crypto firm CEO and international fugitive Do Kwon has been indicted by U.S. prosecutors.
May 9th, 2022. In less than 72 hours, $45 billion would vanish into thin air.
It's hard to believe that only a week ago, Luna was one of the top cryptocurrencies with billions of dollars flowing into it, and all it took was one market downturn to turn this golden token into digital toilet paper.
And I'm excited for Terraform Labs to contribute a significant portion of that early vision, but eventually to go back to nothing.
A cryptocurrency that promised stability would crash to zero. Lives would be destroyed, dreams shattered, and the crypto world would witness what many are calling its 2008 moment. This is the story of Terra Luna, how two ambitious founders built a $45 billion empire on algorithmic promises, and how it all came crashing down in the most spectacular collapse in cryptocurrency history. Our story begins with two men who believed they could revolutionize finance itself. Do Kwon, born in South Korea in 1991, was a brilliant computer science graduate from Stanford. After brief stints at Apple and Microsoft, he returned to Korea with bigger ambitions than working for tech giants. Alongside co-founder Daniel Shin, Kwon had a vision: to create a blockchain that would change payments forever using something called stablecoins. These weren't just any digital tokens. They were designed to maintain a stable value of exactly $1, offering the benefits of cryptocurrency without the wild price swings. By 2022, their creation, Terra's Luna token and Terra USD stablecoin, had captured the attention of millions of investors worldwide. But behind the revolutionary technology lay a fundamental question that would soon be answered in the most devastating way possible. The stage was set, the players were in position, but in the world of experimental finance, innovation and catastrophe often walk hand in hand.
To understand the collapse, we must first understand the innovation.
Terra USD, or UST, wasn't like traditional stablecoins backed by cash reserves or government bonds. Instead, it relied on something far more experimental: an algorithmic system. Here's how it was supposed to work. UST would maintain its $1 peg through a complex relationship with Luna tokens. When UST traded below $1, the algorithm would incentivize people to burn UST and mint Luna, reducing UST supply and pushing its price back up. When UST traded above $1, the reverse would happen. It was elegant in theory, revolutionary even. No need for massive cash reserves or traditional banking infrastructure, just pure mathematics and market incentives, keeping everything in perfect balance. But there was a critical flaw built into this system, one that critics had warned about from the beginning. If selling pressure became too intense, the algorithm would print more and more Luna tokens to defend the peg, potentially creating a death spiral where both tokens could collapse together.
The mechanism that was designed to provide stability will soon become the very instrument of destruction.
What transformed Terra from an interesting experiment into a global phenomenon was the Anchor Protocol, a platform that promised something almost too good to be true: 20% annual returns on UST deposits. In a world where traditional savings accounts offered less than 1% interest, Anchor's promise was magnetic. Investors poured money in, attracted by what seemed like a risk-free way to earn extraordinary returns. The protocol became the backbone of the Terra ecosystem, holding 75% of all UST in circulation. But behind the scenes, maintaining these 20% returns required constant subsidization. Around $7 million was being paid out in interest every day. The rapid growth was intoxicating, but it was also creating the conditions for disaster. Critics questioned the sustainability. How could any system legitimately pay 20% returns indefinitely? But the believers, who called themselves lunatics, dismissed the skepticism. They had faith in Do Kwon's vision and the revolutionary technology behind it.
The higher the promise, the higher the fall, and Terra's promise were reaching dangerous heights. May 9th of 2022, the day that changed everything. It started with what seemed like routine market activity. Large withdrawals from the Anchor Protocol, around $2 billion worth of UST being pulled out and sold. But this wasn't routine. According to blockchain data, these appeared to be coordinated attacks by one or two large actors. The selling pressure was immense. USD, which had maintained its dollar peg for years, began to slip. First to 91 cents, then 85 cents. Panic set in. As USD fell below its peg, the algorithm system kicked into overdrive, minting billions of new Luna tokens to try to restore the balance. But instead of stabilizing the system, this created exactly what critics have feared: a death spiral. The more USD fell, the more Luna was printed. The more Luna was printed, the more its price collapsed. Luna, which had traded above $100 just weeks earlier, plummeted to $70, then $20, and then $10. What had been designed as a self-correcting system had become a self-destructing one.
Within 72 hours, the impossible had happened. Luna, once a top 5 cryptocurrency worth over $100 per token, had crashed to virtually zero, just 5 cents. UST, the stablecoin that promised to always equal $1, was trading at 10 cents. $45 billion in market capitalization had simply vanished. The Terra blockchain was halted. Major exchanges delisted both tokens. The Luna Foundation Guard, despite having billions in Bitcoin reserves specifically to defend the peg, had failed completely. The human cost was devastating. Reddit filled with tragic stories. I lost over $450,000. I cannot pay the bank. I will lose my home soon. The scale of individual losses was staggering. Life savings wiped out, retirement funds destroyed, dreams crushed. Even celebrities weren't immune. YouTuber KSI lost $2.8 million, but it was the everyday investors who suffered most. People who had trusted Terra's promise of stability and been betrayed by algorithmic failure. The collapse was complete, but the questions were just beginning.
In the wake of the collapse, investigations began. The US Treasury Secretary called for immediate legislation. The crypto world grappled by the reality that a top 5 project could disappear overnight. The newest attempts to revive the project with Terra 2.0 fell flat. Trust, once broken, proved impossible to restore. In March of 2023, Kwon was arrested in Montenegro for using fake documents, facing extradition requests from both South Korea and the United States. The ripple effects extended far beyond Terra itself. The collapse contributed to a broader crypto winter, with major firms like Voyager, Celsius, and 3 Arrows Capital facing bankruptcy. The total damage to the crypto ecosystem was estimated at $60 billion. But perhaps the most important question remained unanswered. Was this a coordinated attack, as some insiders believed, or simply the inevitable result of an unsustainable system meeting market reality? The Luna crash had exposed the dangers of algorithmic experiments with real people money. The Terra Luna collapse serves as a stark reminder of cryptocurrency's fundamental risk. It highlighted the dangers of algorithmic stablecoins, the unsustainability of unrealistic returns, and the need for proper regulation and risk management in the crypto space. The tragedy wasn't just financial, it was human. Real people seeking financial security and better returns than traditional banking could offer found themselves victims of an experiment that prioritized innovation over safety.
For the crypto industry, Luna's collapse marked a turning point. The era of move fast and break things had broken real lives. The need for transparency, proper backing, and regulatory oversight had never been clearer. As we look to the future of digital finance, the question isn't whether innovation should continue. It's how we can innovate responsibly, learning from the $45 billion lesson that Terra Luna taught us all. The Luna crash is over, but its lessons will echo through the crypto world for years to come.
Today, Do Kwon awaits for extradition, facing charges that could see him spend decades in prison. The Terra ecosystem lies in ruins, a digital ghost town where billions once flowed. But the history of Luna isn't about one failed project, it's about the eternal human tension between innovation and stability, between the promise of revolutionary change and the reality of unintended consequences. As new projects emerge, promising the solve of problems that Terra couldn't, one question remains: have we learned enough from the $45 billion lesson of Luna's crash to prevent the next catastrophe? Only time will tell. My name is Star Platinum. I'm just a guy who loves to share histories with you. If you like this type of histories, please leave me a comment with the next one you wanna hear here. And please subscribe to this YouTube channel because it's simply free. I want to see you in the next video. It was a pleasure having you in this one. Have a good day.